He's a really good horse, exceptionally good looking, and fast.
Lord Nelson is just a picture type. He's got a beautiful neck and shoulder. He's got a nice hip. He's really strong.
Extremely fast. He's very well balanced. This horse is just an incredible fighter. He's mentally tough. His constitution is just iron. He's as tough, I think, as they make horses.
Hi everybody, I'm Dan Illman along with Nicole Russo, and welcome to Keeneland Babies, presented by Spendthrift, home of Malibu Moon, whose son Magnum Moon will run for the Roses as one of the favorites in the Kentucky Derby. Let's take a look at the field of one of the two final Keeneland Baby races for the 2018 spring meet. It is race number 4, of course, going 4.5 furlongs, a big field, Spendthrift Farm, represented by the number 6 Buchan by Can the Man. We'll take this field in post position order, Nicole. It's a big field, of course. You've got a couple of Wesley Ward trained entrants, the 1 Egoli, the 3 Mucho Amor. Let's begin with Egoli at 5-2 on the morning line. This is a daughter of Quality Road. You've got precocity close up in the female family, and then an amazing amount of class farther back.
Yeah, very much so. Precocity right up toward the front, as you mentioned. This is a half to the 2-year-old stakes winner Silver Tony, coming from the Clear Sky Farm breeding program. They've been so good and so dominant in recent years. They really raise a nice horse. This one by Quality Road, who of course has had a breakout couple of years with his fillies. And the China Horse Club co-owns this one, buying her as a September yearling. So comes from a nice program and sharp people picking up this horse as well.
The second dam, Grade 1 winner Easy Now, a half-sister to the great Easy Goer. A lot of pedigree, a lot of speed up front, and you got Wesley Ward, an automatic contender to be sure. 5-2 on the morning line, the 1 Egoli. The number 2 is Constancia. Constancia is by one of the most precocious stallions you'll see. That's Street Boss. Street Boss's progeny win 21% of the time, 2-year-old first time out. The dam was also a sprinter. She's a half the son of a Pistol, who was a multiple Grade 2 stakes winning sprinter. Lots of speed in this pedigree. Our great clocking crew down at Keeneland, though, noted that she was outworked by the Mikhail Yanikoff runner entered in the second Keeneland Baby race, Division 2, Race 6.
Yeah, and a very light work tab on this one to boot. But as you mentioned, Street Boss, very, very good young son of course, the great international sire Street Cry, does very well with his 2-year-olds.
Mucho Amor, also trained by Wesley Ward, is the first starter by Breeders' Cup Classic winner Mucho Macho Man. This horse just sold last month at OBS for $260,000 after blazing a furlong in 9-4. What are we to expect from these Mucho Macho Man progeny?
Well, gosh, you know, I really thought that they would be later running types. Of course, Mucho Macho Man, a big, leggy horse who started to, you know, come on better toward the end of his 2-year-old year into his 3-year-old year. It was so good as an older horse. I thought his progeny would also have those big, long limbs. It would take a while to get themselves sorted out. But I think with that size, they're just getting over the ground so well that they're deceptively quick. And of course, you saw that with this one, Mucho Amor, in her OBS March Breeze.
Not only did she breeze fast, but there's a lot of speed on her female family. The dam, a debut winner and a stakes play sprinter. She a half to a stakes winning sprinter named Charming Ruckus. The number 4 is La Coyota by Take Charge Indy. This filly already has a race, and I thought she had a decent trip. She saved ground. She eased out. She basically raced on her left lead throughout the stretch, as many green 2-year-olds will do. It was a solid performance, and she outran her 78-1 odds.
Yeah, probably a very good learning experience. Certainly expected to improve with that experience under her belt. She's 12-1 on the morning line for this second outing. The Take Charge Indies, though, I think we have seen with his first crop, which of course includes a Derby colt and an Oaks filly, that they started developing and really coming into themselves more toward this spring, as he himself did. So I do look for these to need some time and experience.
The number 5 is is City Diva by City Zip, a $100,000 buyback as a yearling. City Zip has always done well with his 2-year-old first-time starters, winning 16% of the time. And the dam who was unplaced is a half to grade 1 stakes winning 2-year-old Sky Diva. This is the family of Pure Clan, who is a really classy horse. This is a nice little pedigree. This filly perhaps is the surprise package of the race.
Very much so, and you know I love Corey Lannery getting on her first time out. City Zip, such a good, underrated, versatile stallion, really did well with his 2-year-olds. I'm sorry that we only have another couple of crops coming from him. As you mentioned, so much class underneath in that female family, and 2-year-old class to boot.
The number 6 is Buchan by Spendthrift Stallion Can the Man. This one raced on April the 8th against Stillwater Cove. I believe that was the slower division of 2 Keeneland baby races on April the 8th, and I thought this filly gave a solid, even effort in a good experience, saving ground every step of the way. She'll probably have to do a little bit better. Let's talk a little bit about that Spendthrift Stallion Can the Man.
Yeah, Can the Man, a very well-bred son of their Into Mischief. Into Mischief, of course, a leading 2-year-old sire, a very consistent sire, and they're sort of looking, you know, for the heir apparent to him to get some more of that bloodline into the barn. And I know they've thrown a lot of support behind Can the Man because of that. Buchan, as you said, probably another one where the first start was a learning experience for her.
The 7 is Blame the Frog by Breeders' Cup Classic winner Blame. Trainer Ben Colebrook almost won a Keeneland baby race earlier this spring with Northern Beauty, who just missed. It appears that Blame the Frog and Northern Beauty worked together on April the 6th. I think that's a good sign for a daughter of a dam that won 6 sprints from a solid pedigree.
Yeah, a very solid pedigree. You know, I actually might be looking a little bit toward turf with this one later on. Blame has turned into a sneaky good turf sire, and Broodmare sire First Samurai, pretty versatile as well. I'm going to be really interested in getting a physical impression of this one in the paddock and on the track.
That sprint-winning dam also a half to a grade 1 place sprinter in modification, so perhaps some speed for Blame the Frog. 12-1 on the morning line, attracting Luis Saez. The 8 is Carry the One. This one is by The Factor, and only 9% winners with 2-year-old debut runners for The Factor, but the dam was pretty quick. She was stakes place sprinting on dirt at 2, and this one shows a quick gate work at Keeneland on April 21st.
Yeah, this is definitely a speed-on-speed pedigree. The Factor, very fast. Some of his first yearlings were well-received a couple of years back. As you mentioned, a very quick female family, and the work from the gate tells me that they're going to have this one ready to fire.
Got a formulator fact for trainer Jason Barkley. Over the past year, limited data on dirt for Carry the One. 1 for 28, 48-cent return on investment, but a little bit of speed in this pedigree. The 9 is War Ballad, who was offered in that Fasig-Tipton Turf Showcase sale, was bought back for $5,000. Understandable why she was in that sale, being by declaration of war, but the second dam was a multiple graded stakes winner on dirt. I thought she had a kind of sneaky trip in her debut. She didn't break very well. She rushed up to mid-pack, and then she was a little bit late to change leads. She's getting a makeover, Lasix on, blinkers off.
Yeah, and she's coming out of that Hargis Odie race that we've talked about quite a bit, and several runners from that coming back in Wednesday's Keeneland baby race. So we'll start getting some idea of how that race is coming back. As you mentioned, some dirt under the female family. Broodmare sire AP Indy, certainly a dirt type stallion. And Declaration of War, you think of him routing on the turf, but his sire Warfront, such a good 2-year-old sire on a number of surfaces. And Declaration of War was a top 20 freshman sire last year here in North America. So kind of sneaky good there. Maybe a couple of things to like here.
A lot of eyes are going to be on the number 10 Flume from the first crop of Verrazano. This one sold for $310,000 as a yearling. There is a lot of turf on the bottom of this pedigree, the family of the very good European runner, New Approach. But I like some of these workouts for the Cassie barn. Florent Giroux is enticed to ride.
Yeah, and you know, Flume, I do look at this and think, well, gee, maybe this one will need a race, as some of the Cassie horses do need to be their best, and maybe some, you know, turf future there. Verrazano, of course, by More Than Ready, went over and ran, so he gave such a good account of himself running on turf in Europe against such stiff competition. That being said, he did get so much done on dirt during his career. I've liked his first couple of runners here at Keeneland. He hasn't broken through with a winner yet, but they've had kind of some sneaky good learning efforts. So you're going to watch the board on this one, really, to see if there is any value in playing this horse.
Number 11 is My Winter Rose. This is a daughter of Raison d'Etaille, $1,000 yearling, and a half-sister to a multiple stakes place runner named Foxtrot Sally. But when I look at this pedigree, the dam one routing in the mud, she's a half to the Niagara Queen, who was a grade 2 stakes winner going long on the turf. I think distance is what this filly's going to want.
Definitely, especially with that stallion Raison d'Etaille on top, son of AP Indy, and the good mare Sightseek. Broodmare Sire Exchange Rate was a very good 2-year-old sire, but looking at this family, I definitely see, you know, more distance than precocity and speed. I
wouldn't completely fall asleep on the number 12 Miss Harry going out for trainer Kenny McPeak. This is a very precocious female family. The unraced dam, a half to Random Walk, who I believe was a 2-year-old debut winner and graded stakes placed at 2. The second dam, a very fast stakes winning sprinter, Lunar Gal. This is the family of Lunar Pal. And of course, Astrology, who acquitted himself so well in the Preakness. Tell us about Flashback, the first crop stallion.
The Flashback was a pretty brilliant son of Tappet with a nice cruising speed. Again, we're kind of looking for that breakout son of Tappet to pick up the torch for this branch of the sire line and carry it. But you know, Flashback Tappet from the AP Indy line, which the female family has crossed well with stallions from this family. You mentioned horses like Astrology, so it is a productive cross.
We kick off Keeneland's Pick 6 on Thursday with race number 4, one of 2 Keeneland baby races carded on the afternoon. Nicole, where are you going? Who are you picking in this race?
You know what? I really think that Egoli might just break running from the rail for Wesley Ward and not look back. As I've mentioned, comes from such a strong breeding program. They really turn out a nice horse. The question is who you're going to use behind Egoli. I think City Diva is a little bit of an upset candidate. And then if they can work out the trip from outside, I do think that Miss Harry and War Ballad are going to have something to run at.
I know it is sacrilegious to pick against a Wesley Ward trained horse in these kind of races, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to get on Verrazano's first winner, hopefully, with the number 10 Flume. I know there's a little turf in this pedigree. Mark Cassidy can send out a first-time starter winner, and I have a feeling that Flume will run a little bit from post 10. That'll be my pick to upset the Ward duo in race number 4, one of 2 Keeneland baby races scheduled for Thursday. We'll be back in a moment with race number 6.